Hi, this is Richard White with an introduction to spreadsheets. In part 1, we looked at the layout of the spreadsheet and learned how to identify cells by their addresses. Now let's look at how we can enter data into those cells. I'm going to enter some data now for an experiment that I've been running. I've been rolling a ball down a ramp and measuring how much time it takes for the ball to reach various positions on the ramp, and I want to enter that data into my spreadsheet. I can select a cell by clicking on it. I can also use the arrow keys to move around on the spreadsheet. Here, I'm using the arrow keys to move around. Hitting Enter will move down the page, and hitting Tab will move across the page. After entering data into a cell, you can press Tab or Enter to complete the entry. Tab highlights the cell 1 column to the right, as we've seen, while Enter highlights a cell in the next row down. You can't enter units into the cell. A cell can only hold numbers if you want to be able to do any calculations with it. Let me take a moment to enter some headers and data here. You can change the format of the cell or the data in the cell by highlighting that cell and choosing from the formatting toolbar or ribbon. I want to correctly indicate the hundredths place on my times here, so I'm going to select that range of cells and choose to increase the number of decimal places. You can also change the appearance of the cell or the data in the cell by highlighting that cell and choosing from the formatting toolbar or ribbon. Maybe I want to make the header in this column a bold font. If you want to perform an operation to an entire row or column, or even the entire spreadsheet, you can select those by clicking on the column, row, or upper left corner. Let me make both headers to my column bold. I can also resize this column by clicking on the border and dragging. I'm going to include 2 decimal places for all of my data cells. I'm also going to select the entire data table and put borders around all the cells. If you find that you want to copy-paste a cell or a range of cells, or if you want to cut-paste a cell or range of cells, you can use the typical editing commands and shortcuts to do that. Those commands are in the Edit menu here, or you may know them by their shortcuts. To copy, you press Ctrl-C on a PC or Command-C on a Mac, and to paste the copied data, you press Ctrl-V on a PC or Command-V on a Mac. To cut instead of copy, you press Ctrl-X on a PC or Command-X on a Mac. If I find I want to rearrange these 2 columns, I might select the column on the left by dragging over it, choosing Edit, Cut, and then picking a point to the right and choosing Edit, Paste. I'll probably also want to select the cells to the left now that are empty and edit, delete those. Excel will ask me how I want the spreadsheet to be rearranged, so I'll need to indicate that I want the adjacent cells moved to the left here. If you make a mistake while you're working on your spreadsheet, it's usually possible to undo that mistake. You can select Edit, Undo from the menu, or press Ctrl-Z on a PC or Command-Z on a Mac, and the last operation you performed will, in most cases, be undone. If you find that you'd like to redo your undo, you can select that option as well. Finally, some suites of software applications will let you select a range of cells and then copy them into a different application. Cells can be copy-pasted from Microsoft's Excel into Microsoft's Word or PowerPoint, and Google's Spreadsheet program allows pasting into Google's documents. Here, I'm selecting a range of data from my data table, copying it, and then opening Word and pasting the copied data into that Word document. In Part 2, we've looked at how you can enter data into spreadsheet cells. We've also seen how you can format the data in those cells and how you can use standard editing commands like copy, cut, paste, and delete to manipulate the data in those cells. Next, we'll explore the true power of spreadsheets, performing calculations on sets of data.